Welcome to Module 3, Lesson 8. Today, we are going to be ripping out quite a few pages, unless you're leaving them in your book. This lesson has quite a few pages. So you'll see there's a Lesson 8 problem set. There's another page that's Lesson 8 problem set. There's a Lesson 8 homework page, and there's a Lesson 8 template. So we're going to be using all of those pages today. So make sure that you get those out and put your name and the date. Also, I think that's it, actually. I don't think we need our hide zero cards today. So go get those 4 pages ready with your name and the date. Come back and push play when you're ready to start. Okay, so show each amount of money using $10 bills. Show each amount of money using 10 bills. $100 bills, $10 bills, and $1 bills. Whisper and write each amount of money in expanded form. Write the total value of each set of bills as a number bond. Okay, so it asks us to do a lot of things, but don't worry, I'm here doing it with you, so we're good. So kind of what we're doing now is we're going to take that way that we learned how to count in the last few lessons, and we're going to apply it to money. So we have ones, tens, and hundreds is all we're using for money since we last time we're learning how to count by ones or tens or hundreds. So even though there's lots of other types of money bills out there, we're just using ones, tens, and hundreds since that's what we've been practicing. Okay, so let's get out this chart here. It was the template, page 45, and we're going to write out our hundreds chart. Now, the reason they don't write it out for you is because they really want you to get the practice of remembering where those place value pieces are. So on this far left one, we're going to write hundreds. And remember, on your wall or in your school bin, you have from yesterday the piece of paper that has all the number words on it. So that's going to come in handy. Hundreds, tens, ones. Okay. Now we're going to be using it to look at 136. So 136 has 100. And how many tens are in 136? There's a 1 in the hundreds place. And how many in the tens place? There's 3 in the tens place. And how many in the ones place? 6 in the ones place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I want to show you something that I always point out in class. When we are doing circles or X's or stars or different things that we're counting, we always try to put them in a row of 5, and then you move down to the next row to start another row of 5. And the reason for that, so see I have 5 and then 6 is down here. And the reason for that, to organize them into rows of 5, is because it's really easy to see, oh, I have one whole row filled up, that row must have 5 in it. And then 6. So you can really quickly glance at it and know what you're dealing with. You can see they did that here also. They filled up a row of 5 squares, and then they came and did another row of 5 squares. Same thing. Okay, so now that we put it on the place value chart, we're going to try to figure out what they're asking us to do here. So they want us to label these sets of bills, and they want it to equal $136. So we're going to count by hundreds first to get to $136. So how many hundreds do we need for 136? Okay, there's $100 bill. And we don't need another $100 bill, right? Because we're only doing 136. How many $10 bills do we need for 136? 3. 2, 3. And how many $1 bills do we need for 136? Right, we need 6 $1 bills. So on 6 of these, we're going to put a 1 for $1. So that's supposed to look like money laying there. We have a $100 bill and 3 tens and 6 ones, which makes 136. Okay, so we did that part. We labeled the money. Now it asked us to whisper and write each amount of money in expanded form. Do you remember what expanded form was? It's where we pulled out the hundreds and the tens and the ones and put a plus sign between them. So let's practice writing our expanded form. We have 100 plus 3 tens is what number? 30 plus how many ones? 6 ones. And we don't need to put equals 136 because it's right here. Good job. Okay, and then there was one more thing we needed to do. Write the total value of each set of bills as a number bond. Okay, so that sounds more complicated than it actually is. In this space right here that they give you, we're going to make a number bond that has 3 parts. We were doing this a couple of lessons ago. Okay, we're going to put $136 as our whole. And our parts are going to match the parts that we put in our expanded form. So we have $100 and $30 and $6. And when you put those together, 100 plus 30 plus 6 equals 136. Perfect. All right, so I went kind of slow on that one so you could see what we were doing. And now we're going to do that for the other 3 on this page. So I'm going to get back out my hundreds chart we just made, and I'm going to do the next one. So now we need 4. I'm going to kind of just draw a line here so we don't get those circles mixed up with the next one. We need 451. So let's start with the hundreds. And how many hundreds do we need to make $451? We need 4 hundreds. And how many tens do we need for 451? This was the hundreds place that goes here. The next number is the tens place that goes here. So we need 5 tens. Okay, and then how many ones are in 451? Just 1. Okay, and now we're going to put it into dollar bills on here. So we need hundreds, tens, and ones. So right here we drew 4 hundreds. So that's how many $100 bills we need. 1, 2, 3. Okay, $400. And now how many $10 bills do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 $10 bills. And how many $1 bills do we need? 1 $1 bill. All right, great job to us. Now we need to write it in expanded form. So if we were using our hide 0 cards for 451 and we pulled those 3 pieces apart, what would those parts be? So 451, how many hundreds do we have? 400 plus how many tens do we have? 5 tens, which is 50, plus 1 1 equals $451. And now we need to draw our number bond. So whole and 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes when I go swimming, there's little water bugs, the little black water bugs on top of the water, and they kind of like walk around on top of the water. They kind of look like this. They have like little circle feet, and their body sticks up. Okay. Our whole is the $451, and our parts are these 3 parts we put into expanded form. So we have $400 as one part, and we have $50 as one part, and we have $1 as one part. Perfect. Next one, $190. So I'm going to draw a line. Okay, next one, $190. So 190, how many hundreds are in the number 190? 100. How many tens are in the number 190? So here's our hundreds place, here's our tens place, and here's our ones place. How many tens are there? There's 9 in 90. So we're going to make a row of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to start another row right underneath that one. 6, 7, 8, 9 for 90. Okay. And how many ones are in 190? There's a 0 in the ones place. That tells us there's no ones. 0, none. So we're going to leave the ones place blank. Okay, now we get to put these numbers onto our dollar bills. So we need one $100 bill, 100. And how many $10 bills do we need? 9 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 $10 bills. And how many ones? Well, we ran out of space, so good thing we don't need any ones. No $1 bills. All right, let's write 190 in expanded form. So first let's do the hundreds. We have only 100 plus 9 tens, which is 90. And then do we need to add any ones? No ones to add. So just 100 and tens. Now we're going to make our number bond. And we only had 2 parts when we expanded it, so we don't need a third. I mean, we could make a third part and have it be 0, but technically you could have 100 little parts coming off that were all 0 because 0 doesn't change the number. Okay, $190, and our parts were $100 and $90. Woohoo! All right, the last one for the front, we have $109. So look what they did there. They used the same number for this problem and this problem. They're the same numbers. They both have a 1 and a 9 and a 0, but the 9 and the 0 are in different spots. Remember how I was telling you how important place value is, that wherever the number is in whichever place value spot that number is in the number makes a really big difference. Because if somebody asked me if I wanted $190 or $109, that's a big difference. I would rather have $190. So where that number is on the place value for the number is really important. All right, let's do $109. So 100. How many tens are in $109? None. 0. No tens. Okay, and how many ones are in $109? 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did my row of 5, and I'm going to come down here and say 6, 7, 8, 9. 100, no tens, 9 ones. Okay, now we're going to put those down here on the bills. So we have 1 in the hundreds place. We have $100 bill, no $10 bills, and we need 9 $1 bills. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, good job. Now let's write that in expanded form. So we have 100 plus no tens plus 9 ones. So 100 plus 9. And same thing for this one. We only need 2 parts for our number bond. Our whole is $109. To make a dollar sign, I should have told you guys, I thought you probably learned last year, you just make an S and then you put a line through it. If you see them, they just put 1. Mine, I'm always putting 2 like that. It looks like on the math page, they're just doing 1. So you could just do 1 line. So just make an S and put a line through it for the dollar sign. $109 is our whole, and our parts are $100 and $9. So $100 and $9. All right, and that is it for the front. Let's pancake flip it over. And we have 4 more just like that on the back. So let's try to do this without our hundreds chart now. We used it for the front. Let's see if we can do it without it now on the back. So we have $460. Let's make the $100 bills first. So we have a 4 here in our hundreds place, which means we're going to need 4 what? Hopefully you said hundreds. So 4 hundreds because there's a 4 in the hundreds place. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 100s, right? That equals 400. And what is in our tens place? 6. So we're going to need 6 tens. So 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens. Okay. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 410, 420, 430, 440, 450, 460. We did it. All right, now we're going to write it in expanded form. So if those were in our tied 0 cards and we pulled them apart, we would have 400 plus what? I hope you wrote it down before I do it. Quick, write it. 400 plus 60. All right, and let's get our number bond. We're going to have a whole and just 2 parts for this one because we don't need to put the 0 as the other part. Our whole is this number, 460. And our parts are 460. So $400 and $60. And 400 plus 60 equals 460. Part plus part equals whole. Okay, next one, they did that thing again where it's the same numbers, they're just in a different order, which makes a really different number. So 406. So that tells us how many $100 bills we need. How many? Oh, look, did yours rip off part of the square too when you ripped it out of your book, or is mine special? Part of the rectangle is gone and now it looks like a square. It's okay, we can still write on it. Okay, 406. How many hundreds are in 406? 4 of them. So we need 4 $100 bills. Okay. How many $10 bills do we need? 0. No $10 bills because there's a 0 in the tens place. Okay, how much is in the ones place? 6 ones. So we need 6 $1 bills. Good thing these are $1 bills because my little box is small. My $1 bill got ripped in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's add it up now that we didn't use our hundreds chart and make sure we did it right. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 401, 402, 403, 404, 405, 406. You see what I did there? Do you see how it sounds like we were counting yesterday when we started counting from one number to another number? We were counting by ones and then tens and then hundreds, or by hundreds and then just like that. So we counted by hundreds just now, 100, 200, 300, 400, and then we switched and counted by ones, 401, 402, 403, 404, 405, 406. Pretty cool. You feel those mental math skills growing? Okay, now we're going to write it in expanded form. So if 406 was on our hide 0 cards, we pulled them apart. We would have 400 plus no tens, so we don't need a 0. And how many ones? 6 ones. All right, now we have our whole and 2 parts. And our whole is $406. And our parts are $400 and $6. All right, 2 more. We're almost there. 550. Let's look at the hundreds place first. And how many hundreds do we need? We need 5 hundreds. So let's put 100 on 5 of these, which is the whole top row, since they put them in nice, neat rows of 5 for us. Okay, and then how many tens do we need? Look, we need 5 tens, so the whole bottom row. And then there's no ones, so no $1 bills. All right, let's count and see if we did it correctly. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 510, 520, 530, 540, 550. Good job, us. All right, let's write it in expanded form. So we have how many hundreds? 500 plus 5 tens, which 5 tens has a 0 on the end, and no ones, so just 2 parts. Let's make our number bond, whole, part. Our whole is $550, and my parts are $500 and $50. I should have told you guys when we started that your number bond circles had to be a little bit large to be able to fit a dollar sign and the number in it. Maybe you watched mine and you figured it out. Okay, last one. We have $541. So let's do our $100 first. We need 5 $100. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm going to have to squish it really small because that box got cut off. 5. I did it. Okay, and then how many tens do we need? This is our tens place right here in the middle. How many $10 bills do we need? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many are in our ones place there? Just one little one. So we only need one $1 bill. And then let's count up and then see if we did it right. So we're going to start at 100 and we're counting by hundreds, and then we're going to stop and count and start counting by tens, and then we stop and we count by a 1. Okay, let's go. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Now I'm going to switch to tens. 510, 520, 530, 540, 541. Great job. We did it. Now in expanded form. So let's expand 541. And what do we get? We get 500 plus 4 tens, which is what number? 40 plus 1, 1. All right, how many parts do I need this time for my number bond? I need 3 for this one. Okay, and what is my whole? What goes up in the top? Which of those numbers is my whole? This one. 541. And what are my parts? $500, $40, $1. 500 plus 40 plus 1 equals 541. Good job. Part plus part plus part equals whole. Okay, that's it for your problem set. Put that to the side. Oh, it's not it for the problem set. Look, there's 4 more. Okay, we've got this. I forgot there were 2 pages to our problem set. Okay, we're going to do without the hundreds chart again, unless you feel like you really liked putting them on the hundreds chart, and that's just kind of a little added step that you're welcome to take if you like using the hundreds chart. Then don't worry, I promise right below it is the homework page. 4 more. All right, let's look at the hundreds place first. How many hundreds are there in 901? 9 hundreds. So on 9 of these guys, you're going to write $100. And I don't even have to count them because they're in rows of 5, which tells me one whole row is going to be $100, and then almost all of the next row is going to be $100. Okay, how many $10 bills? 0. No $10 bills. And how many $1 bills? 1. So 1, 1. Okay, now let's write it in expanded form. So we're going to do the hundreds first. We have 900 plus no tens plus 1, 1. All right. And our number bond, how many parts are we going to have? 2 parts for this one. Our whole is, which number? 901. And our parts are 901. And let's practice counting our money. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Now switch to ones. 900. What? Perfect. Oh, look, the same numbers, just in a different order. And would you rather have $901 or $910? I'd rather have $910. Okay. So how many hundreds? 9. So just like the last one, you're going to fill up almost all of your dollars with $100 bills. Just leaving the last one. All right, on this one, how many tens do we have? 1 10 and no ones. Let's count it. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Now we're going to switch to counting by tens. So we had 900. Now we have 910. Perfect. All right, in an expanded form, if we pulled that apart, we would have 900 plus 10. And our number bond, we only need 2 parts. Our whole is going to be which number? Which one's the whole? $910. And those are our parts. So 900 for one part and 10 for the other part. 2 more. This is a big one. 1,000. Wow. Now, 1,000 is kind of like, see how there's a zero here see how there's a 0 here in the hundreds place? It's kind of like we have 10 hundreds. 10 hundreds. right? 10 tens make 100, and 10 hundreds make 1,000. So 100, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to fill all of these up with 100, and then we're going to count them, and you'll see. Okay, so if we have 10 $100 bills, let's count them. We have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. Now this one, every year I teach it, the kids are really confused. Like, what do we put on the line there? Like, how do you put the parts? How do you write that in expanded form? Well, you could write 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 10 times, but we usually just end up writing 1,000 plus 0, because I don't really know what they're asking you to do there. That's all we always do. Okay. So here's our hole. It needs to be a long oval so we can fit it. And here's our parts. And we're going to do 1,000 as as our hole. And then our parts will do 1,000 and 0. So 1,000 and 0. Okay. Last one, $100. So $100 is like, we can't just write 100 here. We're supposed to use 10 bills. So we could, you're right, I'm sure you're thinking that, we could just write 100 and have one $100 bill, but we're supposed to fill up 10 bills. We can't have $0 bills on the rest of them. So how can we use 10 bills to make 100? 10 what makes 100? 10 of what? 10 tens makes 100. So we can write 10 times on these bills. And when we count by tens and add them up, they should equal 100. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Perfect. Now, same for this. Expanded form, we're not going to write 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 times like that. So we're just going to put 100 plus 0 equals 100, right? Because if we were using our hide 0 cards and to make that into expanded form, it would just be 100 by itself, right? So let's get our number bond. We'll put 100 as our whole, and our two parts we'll use as 100 and 0. Now you're done with the problem set. That was a lot of practice problems. Okay, let's go over the directions for the homework. There's one side that's full and then just a question on the back here. So let me go over the directions with you, and I'm going to have you turn off the video and go do it by yourself. It says, write the total value of the money. What you need to do, see this above the dotted line, you need to figure out how much money that is. So start counting by tens and say 10, 20, 30, and count all those tens by tens. And then when you get to here, you're going to stop counting by tens and you're going to add that last one on there. And then your answer needs a dollar sign in front of it, and then what you counted up to when you were adding. Okay. This one, you're going to count by hundreds, 100, 200, and then you're going to stop and you're going to count by tens and then stop and count by ones to get a total amount. Dollar total amount. Fill in the bills with $100, $10, or $1 to show the amount. So here's the amount. It's $172. So just like all of those millions of practice problems we did, that's what you're doing here. So you're going to see how many $100 bills you need to make that number and write it on the boxes. How many $10 bills do you need, and write that many $10 boxes. And how many $1 bills do we need? Okay, same for this one. You're making 226. And the last one says draw and solve. Brandon has 7 $10 bills and 8 $1 bills. Joshua has 3 fewer $10 bills and 4 fewer $1 bills than Brandon. What is the value of Joshua's money? So you're trying to find Joshua's money. So what I want you to do is draw out Brandon's money. So you're going to draw yourself boxes for all of Brandon's money. I don't want to give you the answer, so I don't want to draw them all out. It says he has 7 $10 bills. So you're going to write 10 on 7 of those little rectangles, and then you're going to write 8 you're going to write 1 on 8 of those little rectangles, okay? Then Joshua has 3 fewer. So are you going to cross some of them off or draw more? If he has fewer, you're going to cross some off. So after you draw all of Brandon's bills, you're going to cross off 3 of the $10 bills, and you're going to cross off 4 of the $1 bills and figure out how much money Joshua has, okay? So after you cross them off, add up all the ones that are not crossed off, and that'll be your answer. And you need a sentence, and your sentence will say, Joshua has $, and you're going to put how much money, period. And that's it. Thank you for joining me for math today. I hope that you enjoyed counting money. I always think that one's fun. And I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.